guys. All right, for practice today, Tatum Bethune will not practice. Ankle, Samo ankle won't practice. Eddie Pinheiro hamstring won't practice. Luke Gifford will be limited. Christian McCaffrey vet day. Rest. Go ahead.
Robert Beal's back to normal.
Yes.
Is Samo's injury concerning that it could be long-term?
Yeah, it's going to be at least a couple weeks, high ankle sprain, so it's going to be some time.
What do you think of Curtis Robinson getting out there? When I asked him about his, coming in for Tatum, he said, there were some things I needed to clean up. This game, he said the same thing, but you congratulated the defense. What did you think of him out there?
I thought he had a real good game. It was real clean. I thought he ran the defense real well. Got us in and out of a lot of things, made all the right calls, and it was a real good first game for him.
What were your draft thoughts on Shedeur Sanders, and were you surprised he went in the 5th round, and what are your call about that whole?
I didn't put a lot of time into him personally. I knew our coaching staff thought he was a good player. The tapes that they showed me, I thought he was a good player also. It did surprise me, just going a little bit later when he did, just hearing what everyone was estimating and stuff. But I've been in enough drafts to know that not much should surprise you.
Jair had the interception in the end zone. You guys have had a few plays down the goal line this year getting takeaways. Why are you able to pull that off so successfully?
I mean, when they give you the opportunity, you got to catch it. And he was given the opportunity. You saw what the quarterback was trying to think, going back to that tight end, and Jair just being free on that play, playing with vision, going and making that play. And other places on the field, we've had a few opportunities and dropped him, a few tips and things like that. And down there, it stuck to us a little bit more.
Talk about his progress this year. I mean, it seems like he's playing at a really high level. It's been a little up and down previously for him.
Yeah, Tig's been awesome. I mean, just, when he first starting here, he replaced Huff when Huff got injured. I believe it was Huff's ACL injury. And then Tig played a real high level all the way to the Super Bowl and into the next year. And he was in and out a little bit when Huff came back. But this offseason went through a lot of rehab stuff, missed some time with camp, missed some time in the offseason. Gave guys other opportunities, which had him start off not in a safety role, which I can't tell you guys how good he handled that. He really became a very good player on special teams, which is how he started out. He was unbelievable in our big nickel role. And really just with how he was handling both of those roles, we wanted to make sure we gave him an opportunity back at safety before Malik came back. And when we did, he did well in that role, and he's kept the job and is getting better and better each week.
What is it about his play in particular that's really improved?
I mean, he's played like this before, so I don't want to say like he's just overall improving. I thought he played at a high level when he came in as a rookie and played for us. But I think just stringing together these weeks, when you're in and out throughout the off season with the surgery he had and the injuries in training camp, it's hard to just get better each week. And I think stringing together whatever these weeks are, 6 weeks or whatever it is, maybe more, he's been starting. You can just see him getting more consistent, getting more confident, doing his job great, and also knowing when to cheat his job and take some of the tips and knowing when to make some educated guesses and stuff. And that's the way you make plays out there, by doing that stuff. Can't get carried away with it, though, because that's the way you give plays to the other team. And I think he's found a real good balance at that each week.
Kyle, can you remember about watching Dion as a kid, and now how full circles is that you're facing his son?
It is weird just because he was my hero growing up. He was probably a number one player just in terms of being a true fan of. I always talk about how he got his jersey in '94 and wore it for about 6 months straight until someone jacked it from me. I'm still looking for that guy. But no, he was such a unique player. He was just different than everyone, his talent and everything. And now to watch him be a coach and to watch him raise, I think he's got 3 boys, but to watch the 2 boys in sports has been really cool to watch. And I know my wife, my daughter, they're huge Colorado fans too. And so I get to hear about Buffaloes all the time.
What challenges do you see from Myles Garrett, being that you guys are up against him this week, him for the offense going into this week? How are you preparing for that?
I'm just preparing to go against one of the best pass rushers ever. So it's a huge challenge.
What will be your process
to prepare for the potential inclement weather?
We won't go in the bubble this week. Hoping that it rains for us a little bit, get our mind right for it. I showed him a bunch of video this morning of what it looked a year ago. I think this day there versus Pittsburgh, just a blizzard and stuff, and told them to expect it. Be surprised if it's not that way. And You expect it to be that way, so you get your mind right and you don't walk out Sunday and be shocked by anything. Besides that, we'll work enough to sweat, make the balls wet that way, but we're not going to water them down or anything.
In the second half, you guys didn't take any shots down the field. Was that by design with how the first half goes, or why was that?
I mean, it's not like when we take a shot downfield, the play isn't called take a shot downfield. It depends on how they're covering it, you know. And we had 3 plays in those 3 picks in the first half. You know, I think 2 of them he was number 2 in the progression, 1 he was number 1. Most of the plays later didn't have as many deep plays, but we called a couple of those same plays again, just didn't get the right read. It just plays out that way sometimes.
A glove for Brock Purdy. I mean, does it make sense for him to practice with a glove if it's, you know, going to be different temperature here in practice versus in Cleveland?
Yeah, I always personally believe if you know you're going to do something on Sunday and it's going to be different, then you want to practice with it. But I always feel that's up to the individual. I mean, they're the ones who go through it. They're the pros. It's not like me suggesting a middle school kid on how to handle his first element game. You know, those guys have an idea what they're comfortable with, what they want to do, and I haven't talked to them about that yet, but I'm sure that's something I'll be thinking about throughout the week.
Also, some of the numbers show special teams-wise, you guys have taken a big step forward. I know some of that is just making kicks versus not making it, but what have you seen in that regard, and how do you think that's kind of been able to come together?
Well, I mean, I think anytime you don't, missing kicks is, you know, that brings attention to everything. So when you miss a bunch of kicks, I mean, it's tough for the whole special teams. So it's been nice with just making those this year and our high percentage of it, but also eliminating blocks. I think our returners our whole return game, whether it's punt return or kick return, I think has improved each week since week 1. I think these last 5 weeks has kind of even taken off, especially in the kickoff return. So I think everyone just being more consistent, continuing to work at it, and not allowing a bad play to happen that can kind of sour. You can let one bad play happen and it kind of sours all 15. So I think it's giving those guys more confidence each week.
With the kick return, is anything particular that is working for Sky here? You mentioned the last 5 weeks that it seems that it's taken.
I just think the more reps guys get, the more confidence they get. You know, I think Sky's always been a threat. And I think D-Rob, I don't know how many times D-Rob's done in his career. None that I know of. So I know that was new for him. But both of those guys just being the same guys back there, Sky since the beginning and D-Rob, I want to say since like week 3 or 4. But they just keep getting better at it. And the better they get at it, the more confidence they get. The more confidence they get, I think the more confidence guys get blocking for them, the more motivated guys do, and you just collectively get better.
You go up against the wide 9 in practice and all summer long. Is Schwartz's version of it any different? What makes him such a challenge?
Not different with the front 4 and how they're coached. Changes a little bit with how they play their linebackers and their secondary. That's where it changes. But I mean, Jim's as good of a coordinator as there is. And when you're as good of a coordinator as there is and you have the talent that they have, it's a pretty lethal combination.
KB's snap count has tapered off a little bit the last few weeks. Is that just a case of too many mouths to feed or trying to get D-Rob more involved?
No, it's just Ricky was our starting Z, and when he went down, we moved KB to our starting Z. And when you're a starter, usually you get the ball a lot more and you get to play a lot more. Ricky has pretty good stamina, so we don't rotate him as much. And D-Rob's done a good job owning our F role. So it's been nothing against KB, but I don't like that. I'd love to get him out more than we have the last 2 weeks.
Kyle Shanahan is the team's Art Moody Sportsmanship Award nominee again. What are some of the intangibles he brings that we don't get to see?
Just how good of a football player he is. I mean, there's nothing that you put in that. I mean, guys could do stuff on paper. They can do it when it's all like set up and lined up exactly how you tell them it's going to be. But Kyle, just almost everything's slow motion for him. You get that for some quarterbacks and things like that. Sometimes the game slows down for people, but to have a fullback like that is different. The way he can maneuver through fronts with a lot of stuff going on, and even when it isn't the guy, even when other people take the wrong guy, and he can just naturally adjust and go take their guy, like you wouldn't even notice someone made a bust. So Kyle's just. And when we throw the ball to him, it doesn't matter how big of a moment, what the situation is. He always comes down with it. He gets up the field after the catch as good as anyone on our team, and just one of the better football players I've ever been around.
You won't open the practice window for anyone this week?
No.
How is Yetur Gross-Matos doing with his recovery?
He's coming along. It's been a tough year for him, missing all training camp, and with his knee, and then when you do that and you come back, it makes you so susceptible to other things, and that's kind of what's been a story a little bit this year. But he's got a chance to come back, and he's working real hard at it, and I think we'll have a chance here after the bye.
What is it about Myles Garrett that makes him so difficult to scheme for?
Even coming out to college, he's one of the most talented guys that I think anyone's ever looked at, just from height, weight, and speed, how long his arms are. When you measure just get off, his helmet crosses the line of scrimmage faster from an analytics standpoint than anyone in the NFL. So that means his get off's amazing. When you put that with amazing ability that to me comes around very generationally, and then you got a guy who's played in a similar system for a while, who stayed healthy, who's doing it over and over again and trying to be great, and when you have all that, how can you not be what he is? So it's been extremely impressive.
On practice windows, I assume that next week you wouldn't open any practice windows.
No, not next week. Yeah.
Is Myles just a guy who gets better and better as he keeps playing?
Yeah, he does. He's that talented, and he works at it that much. He plays hard. He goes. He's always rushing the quarterback, yet being a real problem in the run game too. So he's like a number of those top guys. When you just look at his true ability too, he seems to separate himself from those top guys also.